Hey guys, welcome back to Ever. Today we are doing the bloom bag, and here are all our colors: our main color, our flower colors, our vine color, some scissors. We have a 3mm hook and a 2.5, and I only use the 3mm. And then we have some pins and needles to make our lives a lot easier. And then here's the optional for the lining. Alright, let's get started. Let's make a slip knot and chain 25. Alright, we have our 25 chains, and to begin we are going to 23 single crochet across, and this should leave us with one chain left. Alright, and once we reach that last chain, we are going to do 3 single crochets into that same chain. Alright, and once that's done, we are going to work on the other side of the chain, and we are going to do 22 single crochet across, and they should also leave us with one last chain to work into. Alright, after our 22 single crochets, we have one left, and we are going to do an increase into this last stitch. Alright, we are going to slip stitch to the beginning and chain 1. Alright, in beginning round 2, we are going to do an increase in our first stitch. After that, we are going to do 22 single crochet. Alright, and we are on to the 3 single crochet from the last round, and we are going to increase 3 times into those stitches. Once those are complete, we are going to do 22 single crochet until we reach the last 2 stitches, and then we are going to increase into those 2 stitches. Right, we are going to slip stitch to join. Alright, to begin round 3, we're going to do an increase and then a single crochet, and then we're going to do 22 single crochet. Alright, starting this round, we are going to do an increase in our first stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochets after that, and then we're going to do 22 single crochet across. Alright, moving on, we're going to do an increase and 2 single crochet, and we are going to repeat this 3 times. Okay, next we are going to do 22 single crochet across until we reach the last couple stitches. Alright, and in our last couple stitches we are going to do an increase and 2 single crochet until we reach the end. And then we're going to join and chain 1. Alright, on to round 5, we have an increase and 3 single crochets. Then after that, we're going to do single crochet 22. After that, we're going to go back and we're going to do an increase and 3 single crochets 3 times. Okay, and once we've done that 3 times, we are going to do 22 single crochet across. Alright, on the other side of our circle, we are going to do an increase and 3 single crochet 2 times. And as always, we're going to slip stitch and chain 1. Alright, we are on our 6th round and we're going to do an increase and 4 single crochets. Once that is complete, we are going to do single crochet 22 across, and we're back to our repeat, and we are going to do an increase and 4 single crochet 3 times. On to our favorite part, we're going to do single crochet 22 across. Okay, well, you finish that part, and we're going to do an increase and 4 single crochet, and we're going to do this 2 times. And once we reach the end, we are going to slip stitch the beginning and chain 1. Round 7, we are going to increase and do 5 single crochet. Okay, once that is finished, we're going to do single crochet 22, and we're back to our repeat. We're going to do an increase and 5 single crochet 3 times. And you're probably catching on to the pattern. We're going to do single crochet 22, and once we're back, we're going to do an increase and 5 single crochet 2 more times. Once we reach the end, we're going to slip stitch and chain 1. Yay, we're on to round 8, and now we are going to increase and 6 single crochet. After we finish that, we are going to do single crochet 22. Once that is done, we are going to increase and 6 single crochet for a multiple of 3. And then after that, once again, our favorite, we're going to do 22 single crochet across. Alright, once we get there, we are going to increase and 6 single crochet 2 times, and then we're going to slip stitch to the beginning and chain 1 as always. On to our favorite rounds. For rounds 9 through 24, we are just going to single crochet across, join at the end of each round, and chain 1. For round 25, follow the patterns that we did in the previous rows and follow the instructions on the screen because I lost my footage. I'm so sorry. But just finish this row and I'll meet you back at row 26. Okay, and for 2 more rounds, we are going to do 86 single crochet around. Alright, this is when our flower basket becomes our flower basket, and we are going to do a half double crochet, and we're going to do slip stitch all the way around. And we're going to chain 1 and join in each and every round. Here we are doing our slip stitch, and since it ends on a slip stitch, when we turn our work, we're going to have to skip the first stitch because that counts as our slip stitch, and we don't need 2. So we need 1 slip stitch and 1 half double crochet. And I'm showing you right here. Skip that. And move on to our next stitch, which is a half double crochet, and then a slip stitch, half double crochet, and we're going to do this until we reach round 32. Then we are going to fasten off our work and sew in that end. So we're going to mark the 43rd stitch in every direction. There should be 42 between each stitch marker, as there is 86 stitches. As I'm showing you here, it should be pretty even, and we're going to count 10 from either side. Alright, and since that left us with 21 stitches, we are going to start from our right stitch marker, and we are going to do a half double crochet and a slip stitch until we reach our last stitch marker, and this should leave us with 21 stitches. As always, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to start with a decrease, and then we're going to start half double crochet and slip stitch until we reach our last 2 stitches. Once we reach that, we are going to do a decrease, and once again we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Perfect. We are going to do a decrease, single crochet 15, and then decrease in our last 2 stitches once again. On to our round 4, we are going to do a decrease, and we are going to single crochet 11, and then we are going to do 2 decreases in the end. This should leave us with 14 stitches. Okay, and we're going to slip stitch to our very beginning chain, and this is going to make us a circle, and we're going to start working in rounds from this point forward. There we go, we have our slip stitch. We're going to chain 1, and we are going to half double crochet and slip stitch 7 times for this round, and I'll meet you back when we're done with this. Okay, and I'm back, and we are going to turn our work just like we did with the basket. So we are going to slip stitch, chain 1, and flip our work to where we're working in it like this. And we are going to half double crochet and slip stitch 7 times around. And as you are working these rounds, please make sure that you are flipping it, because this is a repeat round and it won't look right if we aren't flipping it every round. And feel free to use any other stitch that you please. And we're going to do this until we reach 25 inches. Once we have reached our 25 inches, we are going to work on attaching this to the other side as I'm showing you here. And make sure you leave a long tail for sewing. There we go. For the other side of our strap, we are going to do rounds 1 through 4 as we did on the other side, and we will sew this to attach it to our longer strap. Here we go, and here I am attaching it and doing our slip stitch and joining it. That's important. Snip this, and we're going to tuck in this end as we are not going to use this. Alright, and we're going to sew this directly onto the same little circle we have going here. And our last part is sewing in all of our wonderful ends. Yay, our bag is almost complete. All we need to do is do our opening. And to do our opening, we are going to attach our yarn in any corner, and we are going to just single crochet around to make it a cleaner opening. Alright, and once we have that done, we're going to slip stitch to the beginning, and we are going to fasten off our yarn. Yay, this is our fun part. We are going to add our flowers and our vines. In the description, I have a few of my favorites and some that you might want added to yours. I just did some roses, some little rose buds, and our vines, and I'm going to show you the counts I did for each of my vines. So for this, I did a 3-leaf, and I did 4 of these. I did 4 leaves, and I made 2 of these, 5, 2, and 6. I did 2. And here I am doing my roses. Alright, in our 8-leaf strands, we are going to sew this horizontally in the opening, and please leave a little bit of the base, the brown part, showing because we need this to sew on our zipper smoothly later. Okay, and we are going to arrange our flowers and our vines, and we are going to sew this on before we do our lining. Yay, our bag is complete, and we are going to move on to the lining, and this is optional, but we are going to trace our bag. Here's a visual of how I did this. So we trace the bag and we use this, and from this we're going to do 1/2 inch out in each end and 1 inch from the top. And then we're going to measure our zipper, and here I have 9 inches, so we're going to shorten this to 9 inches. And I have a few tutorials in my description that will help you with these, so please comment if you need any help. And we are going to sew it right sides together, as shown here, and then we're going to pin that and sew it along here as close as we can. And then next we are going to do right sides together for this one as well, as I'm showing you here. And then we're going to sew along this line all the way across, and our pouch is complete. And all we need to do now is sew this as close as we possibly can to the zipper and sew this onto our bag. Once we're done with this, our bag is complete, and thank you so much for watching, and please tag me at ever.air on Instagram so I can see all your beautiful creations, and please subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.